This really pissed me off, and it's probably going to piss you off too. A Subway restaurant in Ontario is trying to hire a temporary foreign worker to fill out their assistant management role, paying the person $37 an hour for 35 hours of work per week. And they've submitted a labor market impact assessment to prove that they need to hire a temporary foreign worker as opposed to a domestic Canadian. This is a blatant abuse of the system. You're telling me you could not find an Ontario citizen who was not qualified and willing to get $37 an hour for that job? Bullshit. Education requirement, college. Experience, 7 months to less than a year. You're telling me you have to hire a temporary foreign worker for that position. For these responsibilities, you have to hire a temporary foreign worker at this hourly rate. That's $67,000 a year. That's higher than the median income of Ontario. And yeah, Campbellford, Ontario is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's not in a highly populated area. But you're telling me there was nobody that was within like an hour drive of here that was qualified and willing to work that job? And this is why so many Canadians are getting upset about immigration and temporary foreign workers. These corporations are abusing this system and taking jobs away from people in Canada who would be willing to work those jobs. But when this system gets abused, when the government allows for it to be abused, when corporations abuse these programs, that creates unnecessary tensions in our society, taking away jobs from Canadians who would be willing to work that work, and also making people feel as though they themselves are less valuable. Somehow there was nobody in the area who could possibly work that job. So you have to bring somebody in from a different country who's not even a citizen here, not even an immigrant here, not even a domestic-born Canadian here. You have to bring somebody else in to work this job. This well-paying, good job. This is absolutely insane. I just don't understand.
The guy is absolutely right. That is corporate abuse. You're taking advantage of bending the rules pretty much to get what you want. Now, this is the scenario that I'm picturing when I saw this video. All right, and I'm this is just assumption, and this is just a guess. This isn't what actually happened. My guess is that, okay, Campbellford, I've never heard of the place before. It's small town probably. My guess, it is a Indian, or my guess is it's an Indian Canadian that owns this Subway, and he has family in India that wants to move to Canada, but he doesn't want them to struggle when they get here. Also, he wants to make it an easier path for them to get here. Because they own a Subway, he figured, hey, let me do a LMIA, which means a labor market impact assessment, and let me request that I can't find anybody in Canada to do this job. So I need to look elsewhere. I need to look outside of Canada. It gets posted, his relative sees it, applies for the job, he hires them, they come to Canada to make $37 an hour. This is just my opinion, but I feel like this assumption is what most likely happened. Here's the thing, how does this get approved to be on the Canada website? You mean to tell me that, like the guy said in the video, that nobody would apply for this job? That you can't find anybody to work at Subway for $37 an hour? There is not a single Subway, and this is again in my assumption, that pays $37 an hour. Subway, Eat Fresh Subway, assistant manager Subway, $37 an hour? Trust me, the minute he puts that on a regular site, his computer would crash, because the thousands of people that would apply for that position, the people who would drive to Campbellford, Ontario for that position, most likely this dude never posted that job at all. He didn't post it at all, because if he did, he would have had more than enough applicants, people willing to do that. And that is sad. And this is what we got to deal with in Canada, because you got certain people that start a business and they don't want to go through the process. They want to hire their own people and are willing to even go as far as doing a labor market impactment assessment to get who they want to get in there. It's crazy. And like I said, it does affect those who are not just Canadian citizens, but those who are able to work in Canada as well. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And this unemployment job stuff in Canada, and I'm sure the US is going through the same stuff too. It's getting out of control. But what are your thoughts on on this. I'm sure I would love to see someone who's gonna defend this video and say that that person has really couldn't find anybody to work at a Subway for $37 an hour. Anyway, share and subscribe to Born with Purpose. And once again, I'm gonna ask you, if you got a video you want me to talk about, send it in the email. All right. God bless. I'm out.